I didn't have visitors. So I stand in line, and right now as I'm thinking about it, I don't. Yes, I do. I was gonna say I have no memory of speaking to the agent, but I do. I do recall. What happened was she told me this because the flight was canceled due to weather, that Spirit would not be accommodating the flight in hotels. She said what she's capable of doing is rebooking me for the next flight into Baltimore. The next flight into Baltimore was 24 hours away. It was tomorrow night's red eye was the next flight that I could take. Yeah, that was not an option for me. That was not an option for me. That was not an option for a lot of people who were waiting to take that the flight home. And now what we have is a lot of people in the airport. Okay, so she says it's only one seat left on tomorrow night's red eye. So I'm going to put you in it so you don't lose that as an option. Or, okay, this too, or what we can do is we can, I can credit you back for the value of the flight that got canceled, and you can just use it somewhere else. Listen, Linda, because I work in retail, unless she was going to give me cash money in my hand, this crediting that she's talking about, most crediting usually takes 24 hours, 48 hours at the least. So I'm aware enough that that doesn't make sense to me, but that wasn't what I did anyway. I didn't do that because I was flying Spirit. I got my flight round trip for less than $200. So my ticket really didn't have any real value, considering that if I was going to take that money to take another flight with another airline, then it would have been a drop in the bucket. It would have been a drop in the bucket. So anyways, I was like, just book me, because in my mind I started trying to figure out what might be the best alternative for me. Maybe I could go back into the city and stay another night, make another night of it. Because if it were going to be 24 hours before I could fly out again, then I would have to go back in the city. I wasn't going to spend 24 hours in the airport like a homeless person. Oh, keep in mind this, homelessness being one of my worst fears. Yeah, homelessness is one of my worst fears. The thought of staying in the airport for the night, or even what I was experiencing at that time, had me scared to death, because I was scared of everything at that point. Everything had me jumping. I was looking around like eyes darting, and I knew that what I might appear, what was happening to me was obvious to other people, because that's what paranoia does. Anywho, so I decided to be booked on the flight 24 hours the next day, and considering going back into the city in order to not, I don't know what hotel I would have stayed at, but finding a hotel and just going back into the city. The hotel that was nearest the airport, which was walkable, it was a Westin, and it was booked. I got on my phone and I was able to figure that out anyways. So we did that. We booked it for the next day, and we did that. I went and I sat down trying to figure out what I was going to do if my flight was booked for the next day. go ahead and get me a cab now, or where I was going, or that's when I looked for hotels, and I saw that the Western was booked. And I think that it was because I overheard the conversations going around me, and that was because, you know, people started to panic once our flights were getting canceled.